everybody, I'm Jane and welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm so happy to see you here. And usually here we talk about how you can improve your teaching skills, how you can entertain your students, and how you can involve them into the learning process. That's why we've decided to summarize all of our ideas into today's topic. So today we are going to talk about ESL Icebreakers for adult students. So we are going to clarify the meaning of icebreakers, why English teachers need them to use into their lessons, and a lot of different things. And also we will tell you the most effective icebreakers for your classes. If you are ready, let's get started. Oh, by the way, this video is made for international certification. If you want to know more about us, go to our website TEFL TESOL certification.com. So if you are a newcomer in teaching English, or if you haven't experienced so much in this field, let me explain why we need icebreakers at all. So first of all, probably it's easy for you as an English teacher to start your lesson right away and to focus your brain on just one thing. However, it's not the same situation for your students because it takes some time to get back on track after a long holiday or a weekend, and because of that we have to come up with ideas how we can do and what we can do in order to make our students comfortable, because probably you remember how boring might be learning English rules and tenses. I mean, language acquisition process seems to be daunting and stressful for a lot of people in the world, and that's why our teacher's mission is to get students distracted for a couple of minutes, is to have fun together, to relax them, and of course such icebreakers might help them to find something in common in order to get to know each other better. Especially it's important if it's their first meeting. Talking about the meaning of icebreakers, I would like to tell you that it is a good idea how you can let your students know that making mistakes is okay. It's not out loud or terrifying thing, and moreover, I like the hidden secret in icebreakers. So let me explain what I mean. Your students have no idea what's going on. For them, it's just a fun time during a lesson. However, you know the meaning of icebreakers. You know what certain skills you are checking while they are doing your exercises. So that's a good thing. Okay, let's summarize all advantages of implementing icebreakers into your lessons. So first of all, it's a good idea how you can give your students a break during a lesson. Also, you can conduct icebreakers and do them at any time of your class, depending on a task or topic that you would like to review or train. Also, that's a good idea how you can establish friendly relationship between people in your class, and of course it's a safe space for your students to make mistakes and to speak up without hesitation. So what is a perfect icebreaker? First of all, that's really important to understand what tasks might be appropriate for your students over 18, because if you prepare too easy or too difficult tasks, that might be a confusing situation for your students at the class. And because of that, you should understand why you are doing that. So as we mentioned, but I would like to pay your attention to this thing one more time. Your students have no idea what's going on. It's just kind of fun time for them. However, you as an English teacher should understand the goal of that icebreaker. For example, what skill you want your students to train, or what particular topic or vocabulary you want them to review. Okay, let's talk about some points that can help you to make your icebreakers perfect. So first of all, the task instruction and the game rules must be short, simple, and precise. Also, give participants some motivation to win, and remember that such exercises are not supposed to take so much of your time for preparation before the class. And of course, remember that such icebreakers must fit students' interests, ages, and levels. So as you see, teaching grown-ups includes a lot of hidden details that you should know, and that's why we've prepared for you some light-hearted ideas that you can adapt whether you teach online or offline. So probably you've heard of the famous game which is called Two Truth and a Lie. That's it. And by the way, the rules are pretty simple. So your students have to think of 3 statements about themselves, whereas 1 fact is a lie and 2 facts are the truth. Also, after each student speaks, the rest of the class must guess what the facts were the truth and what fact was a lie. I love this exercise because of its flexibility, so you can adapt it depending on your student's level. For example, beginner students can talk about basic things like food, animals, whereas intermediate students can talk about almost everything, including clothes, jobs, desires, and etc. So the game Positive, Negative, Crazy is a wonderful tool to train grammar skills because a lot of English learners tend to confuse places of nouns and verbs in sentences, and they don't understand the meaning of the word order. Choose appropriate topic that your students have learned recently and possible around the class, like a hot potato. And every time when your students hear one of three words, positive, negative, or crazy, they have to stop. And that person who holds a ball must say something about the topic. And depending on the word that you said, students have to say something related to the topic. Let's say the topic was food and the word was positive. So it means that students need to say something related to it. For example, I like apples so much. That's a positive sentence. Or apple is my favorite fruit. The same thing with the word negative. So it means that students have to say something like, oh, I don't like apples at all, or I don't like Italian cuisine. And the last thing is quite flexible because you can adapt it depending on your student level. For example, if you say the word crazy, it means students have to come up with an idea that sounds a little bit crazy and impossible. So, like, I have never tasted apples. How it's possible, right? But if you would like to diversify your lessons a little bit, you can say another word instead of crazy, and this word is question. So it means that you can train grammar with your students because they have to change the word order in order to make questions. For example, have you ever tasted apples, or do you like apples? And by the way, there is no problem to tailor this exercise to an online way. So instead of passing a ball, your students have to name each other quickly in order to pass a turn. Now the game perfectly fits higher level ESL students because that's a good way how you can conduct a vocabulary review game. So, for example, choose some phrasal verbs, idioms that your students have learned but probably have forgotten, and then assign your students to write down their thoughts what such words might mean. And then compare students' assumptions with the right definitions. Not only will this exercise help to remember and expand vocabulary, but also to make your students laugh. So the game Sit Down, it's a perfect way how you can show your students the meaning of zero conditional in real life, and moreover, it's just a hilarious activity that you can conduct in your English classes. So the rules are pretty simple. First of all, everyone should stand, and then every time when each person says statements which ring true for others, they have to sit down. For example, sit down if you don't like cooking after work, or sit down if no one laughs at your jokes. By the way, the topics might be different, however, we suggest using pet peeves. And remember, the more real examples students give, the funnier game will be. And if you want to adapt this game to an online way, your students may raise their hands instead of sitting down. So the Riddle game fits beginner learners and it doesn't require preparation at all. You just need to choose an appropriate topic. That's it. So each student thinks of one word and he must explain to the rest of the class this word without saying it, but with three hints. For example, the topic is technology and the word of the student is gadgets. So there are three hints that he might say. For example, people use it every day, they are portable, and people use it to simplify their daily life. So this icebreaker is quite adaptive and flexible depending on the student's level, and also it's quite convenient to organize online. So the game at Deserted Island is a good way to train vocabulary of your students one more time and to run their imagination wild. So people are supposed to name things that they're going to take to an island and explain why they have chosen such things. But you can change rule a little bit depending on the student's level. For example, your game might be called hustle New York, or a crowded bus. As you see, icebreakers play almost the most important role in English lessons because they help students to feel comfortable, relax, and get distracted for a couple of minutes. And you should always have some extra exercises up your sleeve in case of unpredictable events. And if you still struggle to prepare some interesting activities for your students, don't waste your time and enroll in online TEFL TESOL course. After this course, you will be able to make lesson plans for a short time and prepare activities for your students with ease. By the way, you have some motivation to start right now because you can purchase an online TEFL TESOL course at a 50% discount. Go to our website, TEFLTESOLcertification.com, to check all details. So thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and I hope that you found our icebreakers entertaining, useful, and interesting. And don't forget to leave your comments in the section below if you have some questions. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you the next time. Have a good day.